All right, folks, I've been given the green light by staff. Here we go. Deathloop by CreeperHntr. Here we go. Good luck and have fun.
All right, hello everyone. My name is CreeperHntr, and I'm going to be running Deathloop any %. And I'm going to throw it over to my commentators to introduce themselves now.
Hi, my name is Meta. I'm the Speedrun.com community manager. I also run Deathloop. I was relatively active in the beginning. Haven't so much now, but I'm super excited. Thank you for having me, Coop. BT?
My name is BloodThunder. I've run this game quite a bit. Speedrunner of many games. Might have seen me on GDQs before, but the real special guest here is Joe.
Oh, hi. I'm Joe. I am a senior QA tester at Bethesda Softworks, and I led our internal speedrunning team for Deathloop through development. And I'm really honored to be here today, y'all. Let's break some loops.
Internal speedrunning team. How sick is that? That is awesome.
It's very fun. It's very fun.
All right, well, I'm going to start now. The time doesn't start until first input, so I'm going to count it down. We have a pretty long cutscene right at the start here, so can explain a little bit of the story, maybe, if someone wants to do that.
Sure. So this is Deathloop. Basically, if you haven't seen the game before, think of it as like a Dishonored, Prey type game. Is set inside a Groundhog's Day setting, so we're continuously stuck in a loop and we are trying to find a way out of it. This is Juliana in front of us. She is our main adversary. We are playing as Colt, and we are trying to break the loop.
Break the loop!
Every time you die, you wake back up in the morning, and then you have to redo all your stuff and get better and better, and eventually take them all down.
Time starts really soon. And 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck, Creeper.
All right. So, we're going to immediately pick up this bottle. It's going to be used relatively soon. And I looked down there to skip a cutscene. That would take about 7 seconds, and I'll drop the bottle. That's an RNG manipulation, I promise. I'll drop that one too.
Perfect.
Okay, we have 3. We're good.
The lucky third bottle.
Okay.
I have had that happen before, but it's not common. But if you throw a bottle and interact with items in the world, you can essentially skip cutscenes. So right there, we skipped the initial cutscene on grabbing the hack-a-majig, which allows us to hack into different things. Mostly it'll be used for like turrets and the antenna if you get invaded by a Juliana and whatnot. Right there, we use what's known as lean clipping to get the grenades early. And Meta or BT, can you guys explain what lean clipping is?
Sure. So yeah, lean clipping is pretty self-explanatory, but I'll go for it anyway. So essentially, you just need to spam the lean button, and the camera will clip through any sort of collision, in about a foot or whatever, and that lets you interact with things even through collision. So we spam the left lean, the right lean, whichever we need, as well as the interact button, and we can open up doors, we can grab things through walls. Very useful.
And right here, I'm going to be dashing diagonally, just because if you press your sprint key going in a lateral direction, you'll actually get a little dodge, and we can repeatedly stack that in order to gain a little bit of speed. But now I'm going to do a very, very, very difficult grenade boost that I got first try.
Yo, nice!
That's
Let's go. That was like the #1 worry for this run.
While we're celebrating, we're doing a lot of stuff here to skip like 3 big cutscenes. You boost up there with a bottle so that you can then do a bottle skip over the lever, skipping a cutscene, and then you jump out of the roof So you can fall down and then you throw the bottle so you can skip the other cutscene there.
Okay, so the throw is what, okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
A lot of cutscenes being skipped.
I didn't know if that was just because it looked funny.
So that tutorial section we are now out of. We still have a little bit more tutorial, but that's somewhat known as loop 0 because it's not really like a proper loop because it's sort of a forced death. But yeah, we skipped probably, I think, all of the loop 0 cutscenes actually.
Yes.
That's why.
It adds up really fast.
And you'll notice, so now we are in loop 1. You'll notice we're coming the same way that we grabbed the grenades, and we're gonna leave. And you might be like, okay, well, if you came this way before, why didn't you just, leave through the doorway? We actually need to talk to Juliana and get a code for this door, because if we try to leave through this door without interacting with Juliana, we just go right back to the beach. So we gotta set that quest flag.
Yeah, so besides just doing the tutorial on the beach, you have all these menu tutorials you gotta spam click through.
Yeah.
But not too spammy.
Yeah, if you get too spammy, you can very easily break the game in a very bad way.
Yeah, so if you spam too quickly, or I think it's spamming on something specific, I forget the details, but you could actually lock up the game and need to Alt F4. So great job for not doing that.
It's honestly impressive how quickly you can get through those menus if you know the exact inputs for it.
Yeah, I can't do that.
Alright, so this is Morning Updaam. This is where we're going to do the infamous LPP skip.
LPP?
We're gonna LPP. This is gonna make a lot of sense, chat, I promise. We're gonna place this turret, and we're going to look at this very specific spot. Clip into the safe, if it lets me. There we go. We're going to interact with the LPP. It's going to start a cutscene that spawns other cold. The turret is then going to shoot other cold. And by shooting other cold, like that, it spawns ghost invisible colds. Because that makes sense.
It flags him as an enemy?
You guys are following? We're going to now clip into the safe one more time in a different way. That's a little bit easier. There we go. And now I have my UI while in this cutscene, so I can move around a little bit. And all I gotta do is assassinate the other Colt now. So now the game thinks we are still in the cutscene while also not being in the cutscene. And to fix that and have the quest progress, I have to grab the LPP one more time, and now we are good to go.
Beautiful. And clipping into that save is not easy, by the way. The camera is like basically on Colt's chest, like neck. And so you kind of need to like look up to get the, as close as you can to the safe, and then you look back down to put the camera into the safe. Super strange. I think who found that? That was a combination
Seeker.
of Seeker. I think Saradef was working, but big shout outs to Seeker.
So that whole convoluted mess that you do gets you the LPP, or the Loop Preservation Protocol, which basically gives you the goal for the game. It skips a huge loop that's all tutorial and kind of teaching you the mechanics of the game. But that tells us we need to find a way to kill all 8 visionaries in a single day to break the loop, which is now our goal. So we're setting things in motion so that we can do the golden loop later on in a couple maps.
The golden loop. You also may have noticed CreeperHntr equipped a weapon there. That is the Strelec Versa, and that is technically a DLC weapon, but it is allowed because all you need to do is actually sign up for Arcane Outsiders to get the weapon in-game. And so because it's not locked behind a paywall, it's pretty is allowed for this one.
Not gonna lie, me told me to.
Alright, so now I'm going to be grabbing this nullifier. It's actually in my hands, even though I'm not actually holding it. This is a state where if you kind of just hold your interact key and never let go of it, the game will keep the item in your hand, but you have the movement speed of not having it. The side effect of this is you get this very, very fast boost that unfortunately I just lost. That we would have used to clip through a door.
Yeah, so for whatever reason, doing that trick allows you to like have massive speed going to the side, and you can just clip right through that door. But fortunately, we routed this game so much that we have backups on backups for all of this stuff. So we're going to see a little turret clip most of the time you don't really see them run anymore. The turret's opening. If you hold forward into it, you will hop on through.
This clip is tricky. Nice, second try. Holy
Stuff.
good stuff.
Awesome.
So yeah, now CreeperHntr is just basically walking around the room. Basically, we just need to set the right quest flags. We open up the nullifier turret thing, and that. Oh wait. Wait, did you open up the nullifier?
It disappeared on the floor there.
Yeah, there's a bug where it'll just randomly disappear sometimes.
Yes.
Yeah. It's really funny when it happens.
Anyway, what the idea there is that you open up the nullifier and it nullifies what's called your reprise ability. Reprise allows you to die 3 times in the loop before the loop will reset. But if you die within a nullifier, you will just instantly reset the loop. So obviously, we abuse that, and it's very fast.
Yeah, that was one thing that we were looking at for internal speedruns was like how much time would you save, using that to get to the main menu to progress faster than either running back or like jumping into water or whatever to do. And it seems like, yeah, it's really effective.
They're fast.
Yeah, pretty much everywhere where you can do it.
Yeah.
Like in this level, actually. It just ends up being quicker.
Yeah, see, the only time we actually need to like continue the day cycle is in the golden loop. Otherwise, we just run into the map, get what we need, and then we can instantly die using a nullifier or something of the equivalence. So we can just get out faster instead of just jumping off the map 3 times or running all the way out.
Yeah, casually the reprise ability, which is the one that gives you the 3 lives. Casually, it's fantastic. But of course, when we're just trying to end the loop because we're finished with it, the nullifier comes in big time handy.
And speaking of abilities, we get that one because it's forced upon us when we leave the beach level, and we don't actually get any other abilities besides shift very, very late in the run, which is unfortunate because it does kind of speed certain things up, but it just takes too long to get any ability. We also don't have infusions to actually keep that between loops. We actually never get infusion at all.
That was an interesting thing that I saw shift in the early days of when this came out and it was being run. That you started out, you did go for infusion, and then at some point that changed.
Yeah, when we were in the Wenji's lab, we would get infusion there, so we could keep shift from Charlie later on, which we're about to get into. But
so
we realize we can deal with Charlie somewhere else.
That entire thing, by the way, was loop number 2. And so the only point of that loop was to get a code from Alexis's safe. So we have that code now. We're going into loop 3. We're going to go get another code.
Yeah, so the whole reason we went into Wenji's lab and we grabbed that code in Night Updaam was to be able to interact with a character named 2-Bit. And interacting with 2-Bit allows us to tell Wenji to go to Alexis's party so that we have more than one character in the final loop that we can kill in one map. And right now I'm just going to grab the runt, which is actually the item that comes from the safe with, from the code that we just got.
A lot of dialogue with 2-Bit.
Yeah. Yeah, and we'll be doing some setup stuff. First, we got to grab the runt. So fun fact about this safe, we've clipped through a couple things, and we grabbed something from the safe earlier, that being LPP. So you might be thinking, oh, why don't you just, instead of grabbing the code, why don't you just lean clip into this safe? Well, actually you can't. So the way lean clipping works is, you can interact with things for a split second. The runt here, which is the little doll that CreeperHntr's holding in his hand, you can't actually interact with it for about 2 seconds after the safe has opened. So there's a little flag somewhere that says, wait 2 seconds, and then you can interact with it. So, yeah, now
This part's going to seem really confusing.
Yeah,
I'm
extremely confused.
So 2-Bit has some dialogue before we can interact with them, and during that time, we can go and use up our reprise, both deaths right there, and then run back to them, and that's about the time it takes for 2-Bit to be ready to interact with now. So we're just setting up the faster death at the end, because there's no nullifier in this area, or there's not one that's close.
I got you, you're recording.
This area went through a lot of routing. This is one of the last areas to kind of be optimized, I'd say.
Also one of the cooler ones. I mean, like, yeah, the 2-Bit dialogue is an auto scroller, but we make use of
Stop calling me that.
It's an auto scroller. You can't go faster, but you use it to go faster after the auto scroller. Does that make sense?
No, but that's okay.
Speed! That's all you need.
All right, 2-bit, listen to me.
So after this, we only have like one more character to align for the golden loop. There's already so many characters in place, depending on your knowledge of the game. So we have to get Wenji, Igor to the party at Updaam, and this is going to get Wenji and Alexis there, and then we have to go deal with Igor. And once we have that in place, we can start the golden loop.
Yep. So now we're going to be heading to Igor to grab his code. And this section is just a running section. All I have to do is grab a code and then just use a nullifier to die. So, Skybills, if you have anything to read out, now would be a fantastic time.
All right, thank you, CreeperHntr, and fantastic run so far. This is a really cool game, and I hadn't seen it yet. So we do have some love for you here. $30 from Anonymous, who says, good luck to CreeperHntr. My boyfriend and I are good buds of Joe, and we are so happy to hear him live for GDQ. Break those loops.
Break the loop.
I assume that's a game meme. All right, $50 from Single Speed, who says, until we figure out how to actually loop time, maybe we do a donation train to keep reliving the same donation over and over again? Uh-oh, you just...
Wait,
I don't know, Single Speed, if you know what you just did, but here comes the time loop, right?
All right, we'll just keep looping the run, and we'll keep looping donations. It'll be...
You can read off a few more.
Okay, sounds good. We have $25 from Falak, who says, greetings, AGDQ 2022. I'm glad the event is back again. And P.S., the best evolution has to be Umbreon. Do y'all have
that's
a
right.
favorite evolution here in the chat here? What are y'all thinking here?
Umbreon all the way.
Yeah.
All the way.
I'll agree with that.
Gotta go with Glaceon.
You know what? Fair enough.
I
don't agree, but I
will not
respect
pick
it.
favorites.
Umbreon's my favorite. Vaporeon's probably the best. That's it.
All right, I got one more here, and it wouldn't be a segment without a pun here, so I got to add one. I'm sorry in advance, CreeperHntr. $250 from Shia Daki, who says, what do you call history's most famous discoverer of jokes? Puns de Leon, of course. Let's kick cancer's butt, everyone. Back to y'all. Fantastic run, fantastic commentaries so far. Thank you all so much.
Thank you.
You get out of this.
And just in time for the golden loop.
The golden loop, also known as the death loop? Question mark?
Whoa, he said the name of the game.
Fun fact about the run, there's 4 areas in the game besides the beach. Updaam, the complex, Karl's Bay, and Fristad Rock. We only go to 2 of them up until the golden loop. So this is the first time we're ever in Karl's Bay. And we're going to deal with 2 of the visionaries here. Frank, which we don't have info on yet, but because we know the game, we can just do a clip. And then Harriet is something special. I love track for Harriet.
The kicks are just killing me. It's so good.
Yeah, if you play this game casually, you used the kick all the time. It's
Right there, you set up the kill on Frank. Frank doesn't actually die here. He won't die until Night Updaam, but we set things in motion. You can shoot through this little skylight to activate Harriet, and then run over to where she runs off to, and just
Nice.
That
was great.
Ever so slightly see into the window and take her down. You don't have to run inside and do all that fun stuff.
Yeah, so you have 8 visionaries, right? And we have the 4 different times a day. So we've only gotten 2 so far, so you might be like, oh, what the heck? How are you going to get 8? We'll see. We'll see.
When you interact with this door, because we just killed our first visionary, we get this extra little bit of dialogue. If you get a certain rhythm down, you can end up skipping the dialogue, which I don't think happened here, but it's kind of precise, and you only get 1 shot at it.
It's very tricky, yeah.
Get your first visionary kill on Golden Loop.
All right, so now we're heading back to Igor. This time we're going to take the code that we just grabbed 2 levels ago, and we're going to input into his little thing. Now, he decided he was going to use his slab ability on his little, I forget what it's called. Looks like a cash register. But he decided to use Aether on it, which is the invisibility slab. So we're gonna have to use a nullifier to get rid of that that ability on his thing. Also, volume warning coming up really, really soon, right about now. Yeah, there it is.
Boom.
Very loud.
Gets me. It still gets me.
So despite having like random elements to this game, the speedrun really doesn't have a lot of RNG per se. There is the code that we got, which can vary a couple seconds worth depending on how much you have to rotate it. You can also have guards that spawn like right on top of where this is, which we have. So if you put down the nullifier to activate the device, it also takes away your reprise. So if you have a lot of guards around you and they start shooting, it becomes really, really scary.
The nullifier was too strong.
Oh no.
Well,
It happens.
that has never happened before. At least right there.
What?
I've never seen the game crash there.
Never happened before in a marathon? These words. I feel like I've heard them before. A little bit of deja vu.
Fortunately, unlike dying, which will send you back to the beginning and you have to do a Karl's Bay all over again, it crashes means you have to replay from the start of the level. So it's not too bad of a time loss to have.
Nullified the game.
Sure, but
It's good.
so what went wrong from a QA standpoint there, Joe?
You nullified the game. That's the problem. That's the technical term.
Sounds about right. Quick shout outs to QA devs everywhere.
Absolutely, yeah.
You know what real evil is.
You're right, Captain.
Yeah?
Y'all
Just
put in the
come
work.
see my next trick.
Face yourself.
We do our best.
Pulling a hammy. How old are you again?
Fuck you. I'm older than...
Since we're just going to be doing the same thing from the game crash, you got some time to read out some more Skybills?
All right, sounds good. We have a $25 donation from Bread Broker who says, "Hey Skybills, do you know what the worst part about being stuck in a time loop is? Y'all, I know this is Deathloop. I'll accept it here. We're not gonna do that all week, okay? I'll do it for Deathloop though, because good game." Mr. Roast donates $5 saying, $5 hype train loop for Deathloop. Wait, this has happened already. Better donate again to make sure. Happy GDQ day. We got time for one more?
Yeah.
Oh, more puns here. $10 from the Crank Machine who says, Deathloop is a cold mine for puns. A Juliana of a game. I can infuse so many puns into my comments. Never mind,
wow.
These puns are a 2-bit joke too. Loopy, I'll be back with better puns. I'm sorry.
There's too many.
There's so many puns.
How did they do it?
That was so talented.
It was very impressive. I agree.
It was very impressive, yeah.
All right, one more?
Sure.
All right, $10 from Ire Cubic who says, Umbreon is the bestion. They knew what they were doing. They were pandering.
Yeah.
All right, back
Yeah.
Let's go.
Speaking of let's go, by all means, go ahead, y'all.
All right, so we're here finally for the first time in Fristad Rock. For those of that have played this game casually, you might wonder how are we going to kill Fia and kill Charlie, the next two visionaries, if we didn't do Fia's questline, which involves us going to her bunker and getting all the pictograms. Well, grenades are really broken, as we saw at the very beginning of the run, so we can kind of just get out of bounds again.
Yeah, so luckily both of these visionaries just happen to be in Fristad Rock for us, so we don't have to deal with Fia's questline earlier or kill Charlie in Updaam and Rulit's convolute things.
I gotta make sure I don't take damage when I'm falling too, otherwise I have to restart this entire level. Because I need all of my grenades for a trick coming up right after this death orb.
Nice. And fun fact about killing Charlie and Fia, by the way. So you do need to shoot Charlie, but technically all you need is to have alerted Fia, and that will actually raise the water level over time, and she'll go down. So.
Yeah, and the grenade strat is just so you can get back for food, because reprise doesn't put you back like the last spot you were. It kind of sends you back 10-15 seconds. So once you're in the bunker, you need to get out of it, and dying will bring you back, and then dying again skips a cutscene with Colt, and then from there you're just free to leave the level. And we have one map.
That's a big cutscene skip too. That's like
Yeah, it's about a minute.
There was a point where dying in the water would reprise you back into the water.
Oh no.
Early on, it was very fun. Because that was one of the first little tricks that I was doing. It was like, oh, if I just alert it, the water will just kill both of them and I can run to the end. But yeah, you would reprise back into the water for a while and couldn't do it.
So being on the internal speedrunning team, how many hours of speedruns do you think you did before the game ever even released?
That's a hard question to answer.
Many.
Obviously, like hundreds, yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, shout out to Arcane, because that's incredible. Arcane and Bethesda.
Arcane
Fantastic.
is the best. I love Arcane.
So now we're headed to the party. We have set things up so that Alexis is here. It's his party, but Igor and Wingy are also here on the roof. We can take out the 3 visionaries. Frank is going to die just off in the distance when the fireworks go off in his little hut. And we need to check for some RNG. Alexis can be in like 2 places, either in the main hall there or on the dance floor. There's several different ways to get him to come out to play.
Nice.
But if you just know where he spawns, you can check the main hall real quick and then the dance floor.
Yeah, I think he has, if I remember watching the Devs React video, he has something like 12 spawns, but he only, if you get here quickly enough, he's in one of those 2 spots. I don't know if he moves or what,
right.
but
That's
yeah.
right. He walks around, he roams.
Yeah.
So the probability of him being in those 2 spots is highest with the amount of time to get there.
So at this point in the game, we can head off to fight Juliana, who we have not seen the entire run. She is the 8th visionary that we need to deal with, and we're going to clip through the rack door using a really cool method of just using shift we picked up from Charlie, and then we can hit the button on the other side. You can lean clip this, but it is really, really awful to do, and it was in the run for quite a while.
And there is Frank dying as well. So if you missed, the earlier part of the run, at the start of the golden loop, we sabotaged his fireworks, and there he just died. That's number 7.
There we go.
Nice. Yeah, that clip is monstrous.
Interesting.
Also, I love how you press the button with your machete. Just a little smack.
Oh, so clean. I spent hours trying to replicate that when I first saw that skip. That's such a clean rack skip.
It's so much fun to do.
Yeah, and so the combination of those 2 clips, how much time does that save? Like,
oh my
like
god,
20,
that's the
20
biggest
minutes
save.
or something like that?
That's
like,
the
it's
biggest
huge.
thing in the game.
Yeah.
The natural run with the batteries is so wrought with places that can just like completely screw up your run. Skipping that is like so crucial to getting a fast time.
Yeah, normally you'd have to go to noon complex, and then noon or morning, and then there's going to be 6 generators there that you'd have to power. Powering 2 gives you access to 1 rack code, and you need 3 rack codes total. Each rack code is also in a different map as well, so you'd have to do that plus get the initial rack door code, so 4 in total. And yeah, it saves about 20-ish minutes.
Yeah, because I mean that's
Like
what,
very
like
long.
3 or 4 loops, like, and each loop is multiple minutes. Like, that is a huge skip. I think that was also found by Seeker, and maybe I think again it might have been another multiple person discovery, but big shout outs in general to Seeker and Saradeath for finding many tricks.
I'm so glad we don't skip this cutscene at all somehow. It's such a good one. The perspective changes.
We've done this before.
There's a fun thing you can do for Juliana where you don't actually have to go and talk to her. There's a nice little gap in the door. That's you can peek through, and
Rocket popper
frame's
to
good
death.
enough.
Time is coming up really soon too.
My favorite.
And time.
Nice. GG.
Good stuff.
Yep, so
Beautiful.
This game does have multiple endings, and as I think per the usual of speedruns, the bad ending is the fastest. So we encourage you to play casually and go for the good ending. But hey, you know what? To sacrifice for speed, we'll do the bad ending.
It's my favorite ending.
Yeah, this is my favorite ending too. You could go sit in the chair with Juliana and get a different ending. And I think that's what I did in my casual playthrough.
There's a nice little Easter egg if you do that too.
It's the way to go.
It sure is. Skybox is just so pretty.
Worked?
Yeah, this is that is one thing about this ending. It is gorgeous.
Okay.
And I will say, if you guys like this run, be sure to go follow Creeper. It's an awesome runner. Does a lot of other games as well. It's good stuff. Play the game.
Yep.
And if you're interested in learning this run, definitely join the Discord. We are more than happy to help anyone. And yeah, is there anything else you guys want to add?
I just want to say I really appreciate being invited on to do this. I'm super happy to share my time for such a great cause and talk to such cool people about this. Keep elevating your QA teams. Give them a voice. We do our best to bring you the best possible experience. So, you know, that's it.
Yeah, and thank you so much for coming on. Like,
yeah, absolutely. Anytime.
That is massive. So thank you very much.
Thank you. But with that, I think that's it for us. Yeah. Have a good rest of your GDQ, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Goodbye.